Well, election denialism is certainly not new, but it's accelerated in its rapid dissemination. It's been promulgated throughout the country by Republican candidates. Again, this is not something you're hearing from Democrat candidates for office. You are hearing Republican candidates throughout the country, whether you're looking at the mid-Atlantic states, the southern states, or even the western states. You are hearing Republican candidates say that they are already questioning the results before people have even gone to the polls to cast their ballots. And that is one really unique string here, is that they feel that's a strategy that works. That's right out of Donald Trump's playbook. 538 blog has estimated that some 60% of Americans will have an election denier on their ballot this week. That's very surprising and very bad for democracy because trust in institutions is already at an all-time low. And when you're talking about candidates who want to question free, fair, and just elections, you're talking about something that's very anti-democratic.
That's an incredible statistic, isn't it? Does it mean if the Republicans do well, is it then a given? Is it 100% that Donald Trump will be the 2024 Republican presidential candidate?
Former President Donald Trump is teasing the Republican electorate right now. He is doing this dance of will he or won't he? And I think that when he announces, it will turn into a situation where he'll say, it's my birthday party and I'll cry if I want to. Now, at that point, it is really up to the Republican National Committee and Republican voters themselves to decide whether they want to cede the floor to the birthday boy and say, it's your birthday, behave like you want to, or they want to look at other candidates like Governor Ron DeSantis, who seems to be someone that could potentially hold a candle to Trump. Of course, there are other names being floated throughout the country as well. Republican governors often do get that fine eye from people when we look to the presidency. We're over 700 days away from the 2024 election, I must add. But people are very interested to know. And again, it's this maybe Trump of voters, which is quite a large swath of the Republican Party that wants to know, could there be someone else than Trump that they could give their vote to in due time?
So if the Democrats say, if they keep the House of Representatives, if they do OK there, the Senate very, very tight, but if they do keep the House of Representatives, does that mean that then President Biden currently will be running in 2024?
Well, earlier I said that political strategists love to use the line that this is the most important election of your time, but it truly is this time around. If you care about democracy, if you care about any of the advances that have been made legislatively due to President Biden doing things in a bipartisan manner on Capitol Hill, for example, he's managed to get a lot of consensus around such as reducing the cost of drug prices, for example. Look, the price of gas earlier this year into now has really hurt the president. There's no question. But there is a broad legislative agenda that many moderate and center-right people across the country could agree was a good thing. If Republicans come to power, they will want to dismantle all of those wins for Democrats. They will want to actually be vindictive and take revenge on what they see is an unfair and unjust advancement of a very progressive and what they're calling a leftist agenda.
And is that then the most important thing for voters? Is it the economy? Is it the cost of living? Is it inflation? Or do these questions of democracy, and also we know what is happening when it comes to the availability of abortion, access to abortion in the US, is that no longer at stake here, or does that still feature?
My late father always used to remind me, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. And I've really seen that this time. As a woman who's a millennial, I never thought the question of Roe versus Wade, the landmark Supreme Court decision that gave American women bodily autonomy to terminate a pregnancy if and when needed, would be overturned. So that is what's happened this year. Republicans are saying that's something that all it does, the Supreme Court decision that overturned Roe versus Wade, that decision, all it did was kick it back to the states. So that's what Republicans are hoping will be a successful winning message for suburban American women that really, really care about reproductive access and their rights when it comes to abortion.